Turn it up. It's Gerard on the air, spitting truth in the booth. We ain't going nowhere. New Orleans City got its heart in the beat, but corruption creeping in, gotta take back the street. But corruption creeping in, gotta take back the street. From the French Quarter vibes to the Ninth Ward grind, he's the voice of the people, yo, he's one of a kind. Talking about the struggle, the hustle, the pain, but with each word he drops, he's bringing power to the game. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. They try to silence the truth, but he's loud and clear. From the bayou to the block, everyone can hear. Got the people united, it's a movement, no doubt. With his mic in hand, he's breaking all the clout. City eat the official scheming, yeah, they playing it slick. But Gerard's on the line and he's ready to kick. For the schools and the streets, he's fighting the fight. With a heart full of passion, he's igniting the night. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. From the jazz in the streets to the gumbo pot, he's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand. With Gerard on the radio, we're taking back our land. So tune in, y'all, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. In the streets to the gumbo pot, he's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand. With Gerard on the radio, we're taking back our land. So tune in, y'all, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, tune in out, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whoa, now. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on, good people? How's everybody? Hoping everybody's having a good day. It is Friday. How can you not? How can you not have a good day when it is Friday? Y'all ready for the weekend? A lot of stuff going on this weekend. Man, we got Mardi Gras kicking in, getting you ready for next week, which is going to be, next weekend is going to be haywire around here because we got all the stuff happening for the Super Bowl. We got all the confirmations coming in. Those that are saying they a little skeptical. If you're skeptical, why you voting yes? Maybe it's me. We also got an LSU professor put back into place because he got removed because he criticized Jeff Landry. What? Yeah. one of the law professors at LSU criticized Jeff Landry, so they had him thrown out of the school. And he filed a lawsuit. And the judge says you got to put him back. Put him back. Ken Levy, put him back. Because he was at I said at LSU. An East Baton Rouge Parish District Judge ruled Thursday morning he must go back. Put him back. Just because he criticized the governor does not mean that you have the right to remove him from his teaching job. So LSU must immediately allow the law professor, Ken Levy, to return to teaching. Have you ever heard of that before?
I'm just saying, that's how ignorant is that?
That's ignorant.
That's like you are a state university with probably one of the biggest law
Yep.
divisions in
And
the
you
state.
said something about the governor.
And that's like
Taking away my freedom of speech.
number one, like
Yep.
off top, like 101,
Yep.
like legal dummy law.
Yep.
You can't do that. And this is a professor, and he didn't really. He just criticized. He didn't make no threat,
He
no
ain't- he
nothing.
ain't threats.
Nothing. He just
He
criticized.
didn't
Come
threaten
on, man.
him. As a matter of fact, he's saying that this is harassment and retaliation on account of his protected academic freedom and free speech. So Levy on Tuesday sued the university, accusing of it of violating his constitutional protected free speech, his academic freedom, and employment and due process rights. So after receiving a January 17th letter from LSU Human Resources Department advising him that he was immediately suspended from teaching, immediately, pending an investigation into student complaints of inappropriate statements made in your class. Levy said, F the governor. That's what he said.
Okay. And
In front of the students in a joking manner.
I mean, bro.
He also told students that he was a Democrat and gave his rather colorful opinion on the outcome of the November presidential election. That's what it was.
But once again, not illegal.
Nope. F the governor.
I'm saying, look, watch this. This case right here is true proof that ignorance has nothing to do with intelligence. Because your state university, you're supposed to be some of the most intelligent people to occupy our state.
Well,
and
one
this
thing's
is
for
one of
certain,
the
though.
most ignorant moves I like.
So the professor sued him, right? So that means the professor not only going to get his job back, but more than likely there's more to this. I'm going to see if I can find the lawsuit. But the lawsuit more than likely got pain, suffering, loss of income, and lawyers' fees attached to it. So he's going to get a check and put back in place and get his money that he lost from being expelled since the 17th. That's half a month, at least. Well, no, that's a month and a half because he's been gone because this is the end of January. Because I said, F the governor. You still have that look on your face.
Cause Louisiana, man, it's retarded.
I think it's following suit.
It's retarded.
Following suit of the Donald. That's all. So, let's go to Yella. Yella!
Where you at, boy?
What's going on, cousin?
Oh, baby, just listening to y'all as usual in the morning all the way to y'all shut it down.
Well, we thank you for that, of course.
What was that?
I said, we thank you for that.
Well, much appreciated. Let me say this. Hitler ended democracy in Germany in 53 days. I repeat for the people in the back of the church. Hitler ended democracy in 53 days. Landry is getting his marching orders from the top, which is Trump. Abbott in Texas, Landry, Louisiana, DeSantis, Florida, Huckabee in Arkansas, all your southern states.
Mm-hmm.
The point of it, Jazz, is the cruelty.
Give me the vibe.
It's about being a tough guy. Okay? I can be cruel. Same thing with Trump firing people, this, that, and the other. I'll give you a point. Zuckerberg, who's a billionaire, just gave Trump $25 million off top. They had a lawsuit going on,
and he can't accept it.
And he's so scared. I'll put that in your front pocket, Mr. President.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about cruelty and making people suffer. So I hope all you Latin people, all you Asian people, all the white people who live in rural areas, the Jerry Springer white folks, and all y'all signed off on this. So we ain't got to the good part yet. I've been talking about Social Security, Medicaid, veterans, and privatizing the federal government. All those middle-class jobs they got in the federal government, I know I'm going off base, I apologize, but it's all part of what Landry is doing in the state. All we're supposed to be is zombies. Follow the orders, don't say nothing about fearless leader. Okay, democracy ends. And it lets a white boy be a white boy. Meaning, I can do what I want, say what I want, and ain't nobody gonna do me nothing. I got the boy on the top who got my back, which is Trump.
Mm.
And when they start feeling the pain and suffering, and it's coming, don't cry now. But, that's good that the professor got paid. I didn't hear about that, but it's nice to hear. That's why I get my information from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not surprised, and you're going to get a lot of that. And if you get a minute, I know it's not in your schedule. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But all those people he fired, case in point, our new defense secretary, who was the anchor on Fox News, is running our defense department.
Right.
He fired the FAA guy who was experienced and put some moron, if I'm not mistaken, in his place. Look for incidents like this in our defense department, our military, used as pawns. He already has his private militia, all those boys he let out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, bruh, trust me, they got a license to kill, and they're not playing around, okay? So if I was y'all, I'll go to the range, I'll get a gun, and I'm not advocating that, but I'll protect myself. Because a white boy, case in point, Landry, feels that he can be a white boy, and I'll carry on to the bottom, which is the Jerry Springer type of white boys, and they can feel that they can act like a white boy. Starts from the top, governor, and on down. And then you got a free militia. That's all. But I just thought I'd chime in. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm trying to be like you. If I had yours, I cut mine off.
Well, I'm washing dishes right now, so you don't want to do that.
You might have that one. You can.
You don't want to wash no dishes?
No, I can stay away from that one. That's why I got a dishwasher. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got one too, but
you would still
I'm
hand
just
wash
programmed to wash them. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, G, I'm not going to take up you and Jazz's time. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Same
And
here.
I enjoy the show, and I enjoy the program and everything. Keep us informed.
Gonna try.
I really appreciate that, man.
Gonna try. Thank you, my
Okay.
brother. Appreciate you much. All right, Mr. Elmo.
Hey, brother, how you doing, man?
Good, doctor. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good, brother. Look, it's always a pleasure, not only to listen to you, Jazz, and everybody else, but to y'all, because he always give good information. Appreciate it, brother. You know, he don't know me, but I've always had appreciate when he give a little insight on what you're talking about. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what we do.
Yes, sir. Well, getting back, look, this is the thing. Um, Jeff Landry, if you can remember, because I read it in Gambit, I ain't saying they were right, but the Scutterbug in Gambit was when Trump, if he won the presidency, which he did, Jeff Landry was going to be the U.S. attorney, which thank God he did not get the job. But
Wait a minute. Say what now?
The Scutterbug in Gambit was Jeff Landry was one of the leading candidates to get the U.S. attorney's job, because the reason why the Scutterbug was when
he turned it down.
Yes, sir. Trump's sons came down there, big old powwow. They had Metairie, and it was a fundraiser event for Trump.
Yeah, I don't think that he was.
I
don't think that he was a lead candidate. I think that was all pomp and circumstance to make him look like he was, but he was not. Yeah, I doubt that very seriously.
Don't let the way I say this. I'm being tongue in cheek the way I say it. I appreciate you. You see, don't laugh. I'm using me for example, so I want you to understand me good how I say it. I'm worried about Mardi Gras, Super Bowl, Zulu Bowl, my crab barrel, fish barrel, what have you. Crab barrel, crawfish barrel, what have you. And I'm not really worried about what you're saying or what's going around me, man. This is very serious what we're talking about a lot of times, man. I mean, when you look at what's going on with this president, this goofball, that's serious about what he's saying, because one thing about what people are saying, he told you what he was going to do. Let's get his specific saying what he wanted to do. So let's not make it like, oh, we didn't know he was going to do that. He told you what he was going to do. So, I appreciate that you really giving us good information. I need my, kick if I don't listen to you, brother. If I don't do no research to understand what you're saying, because see, I've always said to you more than one time, I do my research, bro. I just don't come and just talk. I try to understand what you're saying, and I try to get ahead of what you may be saying, so I can be able to say add on some things what you're saying. You see, we have to look at our allies, man. I'm being very honest with you. Well, who is our allies? We have to look at people, races, culture, organizations, corporate America, politicians, you name it. I can talk about it. Who's in line with our people in terms on where we're going right now? I know black and browns are good, or saying black and brown is very politically correct to say. It don't mean squat, brother, because a lot of the black and brown people other than us, they don't have alliance with us, man. They don't have that further. This is the thing about our people. That's why I love our people. And I might sound like I'm a racist zero, but I'm not. I think we as a people, Afro-American people, from the beginning of time that we set foot on the soil, I think we God-chosen people. I use your line. Why you say that, Elmo? Well, the reason I'm saying that, brother, because everybody on this planet, I've heard you say more than one time, when they need who they follow? They follow us. They need our help. Mm-hmm. Asian Americans, Hispanic Americans, Muslims, everybody use us to try to get some sympathy on how they feel they was treated, but nobody looks at us. We need to look at who our allies. We got to look at our allies. Ain't white women.
No, you're not. You're not important first. And that's where I think that a lot of us look at. We're important when they need us. Yada yada yada. They need us. They need us.
Yes, sir.
But we're important when all else has failed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's why I have a problem with that.
What I don't think is the fact that we are first in the conversation, and that's where I think that we get a little bit misconstrued about what's important, because we're never first in the conversation. You understand what I'm saying? We're never first when we start talking about who we need to vote. We are always
we're not first
behind the eight ball. So Yeah, I agree with you.
Right. We're not first in the conversation, and the bottom line is, I mean, so crazy about it. It's almost making you want to laugh. And please, I'm not laughing about this because it's very serious. When you have nations of people, man, that fought for their independence. They civility, whatnot, their freedom, democratic way of wanting to be free, and even in Poland. Now I'm going back a few years ago, man. I do remember in Poland. They had the nerve to be singing "We Shall Overcome," and they had the nerve. They had the black portraying the black Madonna, which is very strict in Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe, they put the black Madonna on a high, very level understanding. But what I'm saying is that we need to understand our status of not only our local understanding, our state understanding, our a national and world understanding of we as a people where we stand, bro. I don't know if that makes sense to some people. I might be over some people's head. I know I'm not you or JS or all the brothers I talk to.
Well,
you understand what I'm saying?
So let's put some things in perspective, and I agree with you 100%. So if this is what we put in a perspective of success or motivation for people to get behind you. There's always been the conversation about, joining this one, joining that one, da-da-da-da. But with black folks, that conversation always comes to bring up the rear. Does that make a sense? In a sense to you, we're usually at the back of importance, the back of immediacy, the back of the conversation when there's nowhere else to turn. Oh, we need to get the black folks. And that to me has been something, and look, I have not always looked at it this way. I started looking at it this way when I probably opened up my eyes during the time that we were talking about some old Obama. And I got to tell you, and I'm not against Obama, I tell anybody I voted for him. But while you're in office, it made me think, well, right now we'll be able to get some things that black folks have never gotten, whether we're talking about reparations, whether we're talking about things for the black community handled so we don't look like we always in squalor and poverty. Or maybe yet we'll start talking about, let's change this federal minimum wage from $7.25 an hour so that folks will be able to look at it and say, hey, this is what we need to get. And those things were not on the front burner. They were on the back burner. Now, it was Tavis Smiley and the good doctor that stood up and said, I think they took it far when they started talking about the president during his heyday. And then they got crucified. I think there was a way of diplomacy that should have been taken to say we need to change these different things for black folks. And, excuse me, what I do think is that black folks are scared to talk about black folks, but no other nationality is scared to say, what you gonna do for Asians? What you gonna do for Latinos? What you gonna do for Jewish folks? But if black folks say it, oh my God, what in the world we all thinking about? From black folks, not from white folks or any other nationality. It comes from black folks. That's where I see self-hate.
Well, you see, I want you to put your thinking cap on, because the reason why I'm talking the way I'm talking, because I listen to you. And I reflect on it more than one time, listen to you. And I say, you know what, Gerard Stevens got a very good point. I see, wow, that he really had me thinking. And that's why I love you, because you had me thinking a lot. Oh, yeah, you do. You had made a comment. It made a lot of sense. You know what? Just think. The comment you made was ballpark understanding. You say, you know what? I don't mind helping people. I don't mind helping organizations. I don't mind helping anybody I can help. You say, but I heard you kind of say, I'm kind of got, sick and tired of helping folks that don't want to help themselves.
But Mr. Elmore,
and I thought about you.
Man, think about this for a minute. I want you to think about this too. This is going to give you something to think about over the weekend. When you see someone who's running for office, and their slogan has always been, "Let's make America great again." If I'm thinking that, if I look at my nationality as far as black folks are concerned, when was America great for black people? At what point in time in history? When was it great? So you're using that slogan and not involving me in it at all, because America was never great for black people. It's a great place to live if you have the means to do so, the opportunity to do so. And yes, opportunity can come and the greatest nation in the world. And I understand all that, because probably in no other country you can get out here and do and make yourself a millionaire and da-da-da. But those stories are too far in between for us to say that it's great for the 13% of your nationality that is African American. And I would even say to even some of the white folks that are pretending that they are right, you all are living off of social issues too, and that is food stamps, housing, and keep thinking that it's just us. But the persona is that it's just us. But there are more white people that live on a social aid than anybody else. I'm sorry again. Go ahead.
Yeah, and look. I'm not against white women. Please forgive me. I'm not against white folks. I'm not against anybody in particular. But what I'm saying, let's make it very clear. When they claim they gave you something, please forgive me, when the federal government had all kind of executive actions and they did their programs like they was giving you something, they gave you squat because you earned it. But they also made provisions to make white women satisfied, white men satisfied. Well, okay, white women to qualify for affirmative action. I think it's a disrespect, to be very honest. Now, you might say, how can you say that, man? You're disrespecting white women and women? No, I didn't say that. White women took advantage. White men made sure white women, their white wives, could take advantage of affirmative action. And that's all I'm saying. Now, okay, getting back to one thing, I'm going to leave you with this. What you think? We're hearing this narrative over and over and getting sick of it. The Super Bowl. I'm hearing all these big-time white folks in City Hall, state government, talking about next football league, and you got their representatives, their corners, if you will, how much money's coming to New Orleans. Now, Gerard, come on, man. Be real. I know you're sorry to me, but I ain't fell off no olive branch. How much money really is helping middle class, working class, black folks that want to make some money? The bottom line, a lot of that money is going to corporate America, brother. You know, and I mean, to me, I don't see no. I'm gonna tell you what's really ticking me off, bro. I swear, it's really burning me up right now. I'm so burned up, man. You don't even want to get close to me right now.
I got you.
I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of it because first and foremost, the minimum wage, I have one time worked in the hotel industry. And what burns me up is America. This is really a slave town in terms on how people are treated in the tourist economic industry. And the sad thing about it, I don't hear nobody pushing. I don't hear nobody really. I've never seen no politicians, nobody that really push why we don't have unions here and why the minimum wage don't go up, because every progressive city in the United States of America, Detroit.
So talk about this, the hospitality industry, which is, they keep saying that's the biggest thing, the tourism. What needs to be talked about in this tourism hospitality industry is the fact that the majority of our Latino friends, Asian friends, and black people work for the companies that own these different companies that are getting the money. And they are satisfied because those companies are usually owned by Caucasians, the companies themselves. What needs to be talked about in this tourism industry is how can an entrepreneur own the transportation company, own the catering company, own some of those other companies that are going to be a part of the tourism industry, not me working for them because I'm just getting a cut. How about if I want the whole deal? That's what needs to be talked about. And then the other question is, what's the percentage of African Americans that live in a 67% African American community are getting to be millionaires off of this billion-dollar industry called tourism?
And Gerard, all your major cities in the United States, they unionize hotel motel workers.
Yeah.
I go on and on. When I worked years ago, Gerard, 1979, that's a long time ago, Gerard. I remember I was recruited to go to San Francisco to break the strike. I said, hell no, I won't go because I understand the significance of being in the union. Even though New Orleans wasn't in the union.
You living in a union buster state. You living in a union buster state. That's what they've been doing ever since they broke up Utno. So that's that.
Thank you,
I got to take my break, Mr. Elmore. So,
thank you, bro.
I appreciate you much. All right, more coming up, y'all. Hashim, hold on, brother. I'm coming right back. 504-582-9422 is our number.
Trying to grow your business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@wbok1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
Saints of God, it's time for us to tell you the truth. It's time for you to start your 21-day challenge. Don't take another day. Do it right now. Call 504-701-4711. That's the whole water stove, Pastor David Impartian Sr., the host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. This is the water that's designed to change your body, the way you think, the way you act, and the way you look. Why don't you start your 21-day challenge today? For $35, you can start it right now. Call me so we can set up your appointment. 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. Change your water, change your mind.
Welcome to Liberty Bank and Trust, where your financial journey transforms communities. Since 1972, our customized banking solutions power your dreams and fuel your community growth. Every dollar you invest with us circles back to empower more people, ensuring opportunities for generations. Join us at Liberty Bank. Together, we empower possibility. Visit libertybank.net to start banking with purpose. Liberty Bank. There's freedom here.
Get in on the conversation at 504-582-9422.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Coming up at the top of the hour, we've got news. Right now, Hashim is on with us. What you say, big brother?
How you doing, brother?
I'm trying to be like you.
Oh man, me too.
What's happening?
Hey, I heard you what you were saying about black people being able to criticize one another. I think what we got to fix, because I agree with you, but what we got to fix is the venues in which we do that, like the mediums when we take each other to task. You don't see no other people taking each other to task in a public forum. They do it in their churches, their synagogues, or wherever they meet to bring the community together.
Let's back up. Let's start from the beginning. About us criticizing one another. I don't remember that conversation. What you mean?
Yeah, that's what you just said. You said that when you were talking about Tavis Smiley and them and talking about Barack Obama
No, what
you
I
just
said was, and I wasn't talking about us criticizing. I said during the Barack Obama's heyday time, which more people were for him than against him, and his ratings as far as his opinion of people saying that he was doing such a great job, his opinion polls were very high. I'm talking about when he decided, along with the professor, decided that they were going to get out there and talk about him in a negative light. They should have rethought that one first.
Well, yeah, I didn't have any problem with what they said. I don't have a problem with that. What I'm saying
but
is,
you don't understand
we
what
as
I'm
a
saying.
community,
the people that
I do.
did,
I hear you loud and clear.
But I'm saying the people that did ended up turning against them instead of turning against Barack Obama.
Right, they turned against them, and I think that's what I'm saying. I think their problem was not so much the critique of him, but the venue in which the medium that they chose to do it in.
Which medium was
It's
that?
like all our business is on Front Street, while everybody else conduct business, in a private setting. Like black community, we call it a black community, but actually we have no community. We have no private setting for us, something that's just for us, where we can come as a people and just vent.
I don't think if they
everything
had a
we have
private
to
setting or anything of that sort, though, Hashim, I might be wrong, but I think I'm right on this one. Even if they did it in a private setting for us, it was us that got up and said, y'all wrong. Not the president, but y'all wrong.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have had a problem with that if it was in a private. In other words, like, people can be called on their foolishness. So sometimes we need that. And I think that the other part I was trying to make is that I think that the previous generations were masterful at using the law to work for us. And I think as a community, we keep using that word, but as a community, we've forgotten how to use the law to work for us, i.e., this governor we got, because the Super Bowl coming into town, he just threw all the laws he made out the window. Like, the concealed carry laws, they don't matter no more. Now I can search your bag. I can search your person. What happened to my freedoms? What happened to this free state? What happened to getting rid of the deep state? But now, because of this terrorist attack that happened, the terrorists then won. Because now we lose freedoms because of their money. Okay, all of a sudden you come into downtown, now I can search your bag, I can search your person. A police officer stop you, your rights go out the window. Who gave him the power, the authority to do that? And nobody's challenging him on that because people will sacrifice safety over freedom every time. And that's why they keep winning. We want to be safe, but you have to earn the right to be safe. I don't understand why learned people, like, I'm not a learned man. I don't have no degrees behind my name. What I don't understand is why people who have been invested in by the community are not fighting for the community. I mean, this is a simple lawsuit. Who gives the governor the right to take away our civil liberties? I go downtown with a backpack, now you can search me? Says who? Him? Who is he? He's an elected official. He falls under the rule of law. But there are no warriors or champions for the people anymore. Nobody's challenging anything. We just lying down and taking it.
So so let's call it what it is now. That's not all the way together, and the reason why I say it's not is now because it is a Seer 1 event. Seer 1, meaning the highest in security that can be put by the federal government, and he got it from the federal government to classify it as a Seer 1 event, so you can do that. So yeah, it takes away a lot of your civil liberties, but that's what classification of Seer 1 is all about. So he did what he was supposed to do.
But all of that's unconstitutional.
No,
because they give it a name.
Not a Seer 1 event. Not a Seer 1 event.
Says who?
The federal government and the United States of America. It doesn't have anything to do with the First Amendment.
So the federal government could unilaterally turn around and take away your constitutional rights?
Your constitutional rights are still in effect, but not in a Tier 1 event, which they have outlined where that Tier 1 rating is going to be.
And my question is, who decides what's a Tier 1 event?
Your congressperson.
That sounds like totalitarianism to me. That sounds like your rights are an illusion. They're not actual rights. Anytime they get the notion to take away your rights, they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not what the founding fathers meant at all. We, the people, supposed to have all power. The slogan, all power to the people, that's what people be fighting for. Like, it's the people have all the power.
Yeah.
Who gives the government the right to change laws and rules on us? I'm a stickler for the rules, brother.
I hear you. But that ain't the rules. I mean, we can have this conversation, but they changed the rules. The rules have been changed for that location, for that event. And what's done is done. Ain't nothing we can do about it.
Well, if they search me, they're going to have a problem.
Don't go, bro. I don't want to see you on the news.
I got to. Somebody got to go Dr. King in the Birmingham jail on him.
Yeah. I don't need you to be in the Birmingham jail because you ain't in Birmingham. Here?
I hear you, brother.
All right, Hasheem, let me take my break, man. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Yeah.
All right. Yo, make sure that Hasheem ain't going to get put in jail because this ain't Birmingham. More coming up. We got news next right here at WBOK.
WBOK 1230 AM New Orleans, home of the Reality Check, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. Investigators are working to retrieve the wreckage of the 2 aircrafts that collided over the Potomac River. No survivors were found, and divers have recovered the plane's voice and data recorders. During his confirmation hearings, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was questioned about past statements claiming black people have better immune systems than white people. He cited a series of studies supporting this claim. Stocks closed higher Thursday after a volatile day on Wall Street. Investors reacted to earnings reports from Meta, Tesla, and Microsoft, as well as lower than expected GDP growth and a drop in weekly jobless claims. And the Miami Heat's Terry Rozier is under investigation for an illegal betting scheme. The Wall Street Journal reported that federal prosecutors are involved and the NBA is cooperating with the probe. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to send a special shout out to our partner, the All-State Sugar Bowl. During the holiday break, over 30 teachers had the opportunity to ride in the New Year's Eve parade, and boy, did they have a blast. In addition, we had over 60 teachers attend the All-State Sugar Bowl game. Out of the 60, 11 teachers received a $1,000 gift card to purchase needed supplies to enhance the learning experiences for their students. Thank you, All-State Sugar Bowl, for your commitment to NOLA's teachers.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. You going to Super Bowl? You going to Super Bowl?
Am I going to Super Bowl?
You don't have no tickets? I was going to ask you to get me a ticket if you could.
You got jokes.
You don't have no tickets?
You got jokes.
I told you how much the tickets
I'm waiting
for
the punchline.
Huh?
Waiting for the punchline.
Ain't no punchline? I know you got connections.
You must be talking to Naira.
You don't have no connections with the Super Bowl? Man, call them people that you know. Hook a brother up.
Well, I tell you like this. If I had connections like that, I would not be in the situation that I'm in.
I thought you had connections like that, bro.
No.
I think you're telling me one, though. But, you know. All right. That's how you going to treat your brother?
Even if I did?
You wouldn't?
No.
You wouldn't hook me up?
No, I wouldn't go.
Oh, you wouldn't go?
Only if it was the Saints.
Oh, You diehard Saints like that? I thought you
Saints
was not.
in the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Of
No.
course, I'm gonna try.
Now, I
and
went
go
to that one. Did you go to that one, the Super Bowl in New Orleans? When the Saints won the in Miami? Did you go? I went to that one.
No, I didn't go to that one in Miami.
And then when the Saints came back to open up the Superdome after Katrina, I was there.
I
was that like in September? Were you there that day?
I did that.
You know you got that connection. I don't even know why he playing. So, all right, folks, let me ask you this. 504-582-9422. What y'all think about this professor? Because Jazz already gave me his. What y'all think about this professor at LSU that said something about the governor and about Trump that ended up getting him thrown out of the university? Jeff Landry criticized him and then publicly rebuked the law professor. His name is Levy. Oh, Mr. Levy. Ken Levy. And he said in front of his class, F the governor, in a joking manner. And it got back to the governor. And the governor, I guess, pulled his weight and had him dismissed. And after receiving a January 17th letter from LSU Human Resources Department advising him that he was immediately suspended from teaching pending an investigation into student complaints and an inappropriate statement made in your class. He said, F the governor and F Donald Trump. And that I'm a Democrat. And he gave a very colorful opinion. They suspended him. Well, he took the state to court. And now he's going back to his law class because he's saying you are violating my rights of free speech, protected academic freedom, and free speech. He has said that this is harassing and retaliation on the parts of the governor and anybody else. And the judge agreed. Said he put out a restraining order, a temporary restraining order, saying that you cannot throw this teacher out of his job or out of the university because he was voicing his own beliefs. How petty can we be? Let's go to ATL in the building. What you say, Miss Sandra?
Hey, I'm not going to comment on what you just talked about because I'm in the same shape. I might get in more trouble. I just wanted to piggyback. I hate that word, piggyback, on what Brother was saying about us having a space to really vent amongst each other. I think he's right about that because I put it in that chat. Because that's what they had for the Boston Club, for the Blue Bloods on St. Charles. They get behind closed doors and scrap with each other, and then they come out on the united front. So I think that's a good thing. That we do need a space like that, where we just get in a room and scrap it out and come back out of with the united front. And we're the only people. It's really silly to me. You know, we get a problem, and then we get in public and tell our enemy what we're going to do. And then all they do is listen to what we say and strategize against us.
Well, he ain't the only people. I mean, look at your president. He told you everything that he was going to do prior to him being even elected and coming in and doing exactly what he said. And everybody's sitting back going like, well, what y'all surprised for? He said he was going to tell you. He told you what he was going to do.
I ain't got a problem with it. I wish the Democrats would do that too.
So to me, I got to tell you, we have always had the problem, even when we had a place to go. And you're going to laugh when I tell you this, but it's the truth. And you're going to say, yeah, well, you might be right on that one. Where you think the terminology came from? And Miss Sandra, you know what I'm saying about the you know what by the door.
Yeah, you're right.
That's where it came from, because we would find us a place where we could sit down and strategize and put our stuff together. And then somebody at that meeting would go back and tell Mr. Charlie everything that was discussed.
Well, it's going to have to, and I think it's coming because we're being pushed all the way into a corner where we're going to have to do some things that we don't normally do. Those kind of people got to be dealt with.
Yeah.
For real, they're going to have to be dealt with because our survival is at stake.
How you deal with them?
I'm not going to say that on here. I'm not going to say that.
You sounded kind of gangster there. I knew you had a little gangster in you. I ain't know it was that bad. but I would say so. They need to be dealt with. Y'all, that's how the mafia did it.
But you need to deal with them like we deal in the mafia. I'll just leave it at that.
Right. That's how they did it. You go out there and you snitch. Snitches get stitches.
Okay. The messenger said, well, Muhammad Ali told the messenger when he was on one of his fights, he said, the mafia, they say they're going to break my knees. And he told them, tell them they got knees too.
Yep.
So I'm not going to stay on this.
But I do think, though, Ms. Sandra, that we got to develop. And I know that a lot of people tell, well, you already got organizations like that, da-da-da-da-da. But it's apparent to me, and I'm not talking about any organization in particular, but it's apparent to me that if folks are not following these organizations by now, well, it looks like the organization needs to find out why these folks are not following them when they need so much help and reorganize.
It's fear. Fear and cowards.
So, I mean, to me, you got to be able, if you want somebody to represent you, what you want them to do. And let's find out what it is.
I'm not going to say anything further on that.
I know, gangster.
And I want to know, did you get those photos I sent you?
You sent me some photos?
Photos. It was from an ad that WBOK had in 1970. And they had pictures of the commentators who were on the station in 1970. I think I sent you 2 pictures.
I didn't see that. Where you sent them? You sent them digitally, or you sent them in the mail?
Yes, I sent them digitally.
I probably still have them then, so I'm gonna go back and look.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's good talking to you.
Same here. How things going up there in the big deep south of Georgia?
Okay, well, I'll put it like this. America is America.
Yeah.
In all of these 50 states, no matter, what's going on in New Orleans or Atlanta, we all going through the same stuff in one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hang in there. Come home when you can.
I sure will.
Thank you,
all
my
right.
love. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, 504-582-9422 is the number to get in contact with us. So, let's say that you put together a group of folks that were against all the stuff that's happening in the world today. Are you prepared for the heat? What? Are you prepared for the heat? What you talking about, Gerard? Okay, let's talk about that for a minute, and then we can move on to our next thing, because I know I got a few more minutes here before I go to break. Don't think that today's society of folks are going to take what you say in stride, let you say it, and that be the end of it. It's apparent to me that the art of war in some minds is not just the art of war, it's the art of retaliation. So if you go against me, then I look forward to trying to handle you in the worst way possible with nobody having anything else to do with this and making you look like you're the monster, retaliating against you. I go digging to find out all the dirt I can on you, even though that your opposition to an event, issue, or whatever might be legit. Who are you? So instead of going after to try to prove differently, I try to make you look like you the boogeyman. Whether you're going against a project, going against a policy, but is it the project and the policy, or is it that you're going against, and they take it like you're going against the person? And see, we have a lot of pettiness in today's society of politics. So before you have to go after somebody and you go after something, I would tell you, make sure you done swept by your house. Don't go out there and then, because everybody else going to be looking at you and saying, oh, yeah, I knew something was wrong. I knew something was wrong with them. I knew something was wrong. And then you done made the whole narrative change. The narrative is not about the issue. The narrative ends up being about you. Pettiness. Pettiness. And pettiness. I could call some names about people that's petty, but I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get sued. Been there, done that. Then Jazz be leaving me hanging out there. I ain't say nothing. That was him.
What you talking about?
That was him. That's what I do to you, too.
Yeah, I know.
That wasn't me. That was Jazz.
But I accept mine.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. When people at WBOK, y'all can't see me. But when I say I ain't do it, I ain't do it.
That ain't accepting it. That's bowing out.
I said, when I say I ain't do it,
you ain't do it.
I ain't do it.
But you be saying that when you did do it.
No,
Yes, you did.
that's a total contradiction to the statement that I just made.
All right, wait a minute. Then explain to me. Maybe I'm slow.
If I did it, I did it.
You own it.
Yes. If I didn't do it, I am not owning it.
No, sir. You blame that puppy on me real quick, fast, in a hurry. Don't worry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I give it right back to you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's take the break. We'll take the break, y'all. And Jazz did do it. Yes, he did. There's more coming up next, right here on WBOK.
New Orleans, are you ready? A fresh voice in the city is here, bringing you the beats, the culture, and the stories that matter. From local music and food to real talk on what's happening in the streets, we've got you covered. Stay tapped in. Follow us on all platforms at WBOK 1230 for the latest updates and exclusive content. Your city, your culture, your news. Don't just hear about it, be about it. Follow us at WBOK 1230 now.
NOLA Public Schools' main round enrollment for kindergarten through 12th grade is now open. With 73 schools available through the NOLA Public Schools Common Application Process, or NCAP, finding the right school fit for your family is easier than ever. List up to 12 choices to maximize your chances and apply by January 24th. We're all in, and we hope you are too. Apply today at enrollnolaps.com. That's enrollnolaps.com.
Are you passionate about community safety and police accountability? Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter. From real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Get the facts and stay informed. We're breaking down complex issues, highlighting community voices, and holding people behind the badge accountable. Join us for an informative hour every Friday at noon on WBOK. Your city, your police, your show. The Monitor's Mic.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm texting folks at the same time here. See if I can get folks to come in and be our guests next week. Come on, say yes. Say yes. Say yes. I do know next week we are going to have a conversation. They are doing these big issues during the Super Bowl. One is going to be about CTE. That is the disease that these ball players that keep the entire time that take those hits over and over and over and over again, and it does some brain damage to a lot of them with them, getting those hits over and over and over and over and over again over their career. And then they have some type of mental issue as they get older, and they identified it as CTE. So some of those ball players are going to be here that are part of the study, and they've asked, can they have that conversation on the air with us? And I was like, absolutely. So a lot of those ball players are going to be in studio with us, and I'm trying to get it for Monday during the time that Dr. Shepard is also going to be here. The other thing, too, in my opinion, one of the biggest providers for mental health in the city of New Orleans, whether we want to believe it or not, is the New Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office. Everybody just went, what? Yeah. One of the biggest providers for mental health for citizens here in the city of New Orleans is the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office. I know that sounds crazy, and I think it is too. Why do I have to get in trouble to get mental health help? And come to find out, over just a time of a year, we found out that at least 55% of the folks that are in jail need some type of mental health help. The other part of that is the homeless population. Homeless population, because there's been something either detrimental that happened in their lifetime, something that has made them lose all cognizant issues, something happened to them, whether it was the death or the death of someone in their life, whether it was a traumatic injury. It was so many different things. This octopus of issues, these had so many tentacles, I can't name them all. So I'm trying to get all these folks to come together to talk about what these mental illnesses are. And I'm trying to get them to do it here on next week. So that's why y'all keep seeing me do all these different text. While I'm looking down, I'm usually texting folks. They texted me back. I'm trying to coordinate everybody together. So that's what I've been working on. The other thing that I'm working on for next week is, okay, she did answer me back. Next week is also the unveiling. They call it unveiling the vision. It is the Eros Studios. That's the studio, the movie studios that are going to be put out there at Bayou Phoenix. And so we're trying to get them to come in on Tuesday so they can tell us about these studios and, of course, about the issues of having, coming home. That is going to be on the 7th at Dillard. Got to have an invite. So we're working on that too. The other thing that we got, and I'm telling everybody to do this as soon as you can, is that there is a big concert that happens next week. That concert is going to be next Wednesday. That is the NFL's concert, where a lot of the young men have gotten together and committed to singing in the choir. I'm trying to bring that up so you can see that too. See, I can see I've been busy. I've just been busy. It is the Super Bowl Soulful Celebration, the 26th annual, where a lot of stars, local and national, are getting together. That's next Wednesday at 7:30 at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. So you can go to MahaliaJacksonTheater.com and find out more. But it's going to be filmed for BET. Looks like they got performances with the Isley Brothers, Master P, Trombone Shorty, Yolanda Adams, a whole bunch of folks going to be on this soulful celebration, and it's going to be filmed for BET. So it will air on national stage, and it will air the Saturday before the Super Bowl next week. They're going to do that at 7:30 Wednesday the 5th at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. You can get your tickets at MahaliaJacksonTheater.com, and they're not expensive tickets at all. So get yours. Get yours now. Plus, next Wednesday, we will be live doing the show. Where you gonna be at, Gerard? Oh, I'm glad y'all asked. Y'all so much on it, doggone it. Next Wednesday, we will be on Radio Row at the Superdome. When the players from, Kansas City, Philadelphia, I think some folks from the New Orleans Saints, and a whole bunch of folks are going to be there. That's going to be on Radio Row. We will be broadcasting live next Wednesday. I think we're going to start up about 12 o'clock. So that's going to be fun. If you can get tickets to that, I don't know if you can get tickets to that. I just know that we're going to be out there broadcasting live, and more than likely we're going to be on the field. I'm going to see, can I get the world famous one to come and join me on the show and see if he can help me do some of these interviews. The world famous one? Who are you talking about? A.D. Berry? No. I'm talking about Ro Brown. Don't put A.D. and Ro in the same category. What's wrong with y'all? He going to get me for that one. But I'm talking about all these different players and all these folks. So I know that we're going to be out there broadcasting live on next Wednesday. So that's what we're going to be doing. So y'all can see next week going to be full of stuff. Just a whole bunch of stuff going on. The other thing that I'm trying to do is to make sure that my girl is straight. Who you talking about, G? When I say my girl, she like my little daughter. I've got a chance to really hang out with her and her family, her dad, her mom, her boyfriend, her boyfriend's dad, which they seem to be very, very gel. They're very tight and very smart. And I need to make sure that Jamie Johnston, and I keep saying all, but all rocks and all things have been turned to make sure that her case moves forward. Reunite this woman with her child. There's something wrong with that case. I ain't never seen no crap like this one. Keep the mom away? Something wrong. Something wrong. So, Jamie, just know we with you. And we love you, yeah? Stick with it. You done went this far. We done went this far. I have a case, other than that one, that I'm trying to bring to the radio, but I need to make sure that I have all the nooks and crannies. I have mentioned it before, so I'm going to be careful of what I say right now and what I brought to the airwaves. And I did a public records request. By law, public records requests have to be answered. You have to get an answer within 48 to 72 hours. They can answer you, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get all the documentation that you need within that time frame. They can answer you and say, hey, we received it and we are working on putting together your stuff here. And because it is a issue of putting everything together, putting it on the disc, they don't give you paper no more. They put everything on the disc. You have to pay for it. And they give you the price on how much it costs. Well, one of the issues that I knew came up, which I know is being hid, and this is putting everybody on notice that's doing it. I'm putting you on notice. I know that you all are trying to hide this issue from me. Nobody else. No other agency. No other reporter, because they don't know that it's there. I do. And I've already heard from the people that you're talking to. You've called my name. And you've already told them, I don't like the fact that this man knows a whole bunch of stuff that he ain't supposed to know. Who's telling him? You'll never know what my sources are because I'm not telling you. I don't even mention them. Because if I did, you'd be like, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. That ain't his source. But it implicates a whole bunch of folks. A lot of the bobbleheads. A lot of the people that ain't even supposed to be in there at all. Consultants. And with it implicating all of those folks, boy, they running scared. Don't put me in it. Don't put me in it. Because, you know, he ignorant. He'll say your name on there. If I say your name, you better damn believe that I got the information. And so let me put this out here too. Some folks be like, I'm going to sue y'all. See ya. Go ahead. Because what you then do is open up a can of worms to allow me and my attorney, not the station's attorney, my attorney, to get all the information. See, I tell part of it. Because I pick and choose what part of it I want to tell. But I'll get all of it and tell it. Then it becomes public information. And whether I air it here or I just start up my own podcast, I will dig you one grave after the other to bury yourself. If you don't want to be a part of those conversations, then what I tell you is stop doing it and do the right thing by people. And don't think that there ain't nobody out here that's going to go back and look at it. But I will tell you that it's the bobbleheads that have said, I don't like that guy over there talking about this stuff. I don't like the fact that he's got somebody in here telling him what's going on. I don't like the fact that he's out there making fun of us with this information that he's telling. Stop doing it. That's all I can say. Stop doing it. Time for foolishness has been over with. We living in some dangerous times these days, some real dangerous times, and a lot of folks fed up with it. And we wonder why people just lose it and go off. You don't know what PTSD moment they having right then and there. You don't know what your trigger is. You better start treating people right. And I give you a hint. Some of the folks that y'all treating bad are licensed to carry guns. Oops. 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 But what else do you do? Tell the truth and shame the devil. I'll leave it at that. So that'll be coming up in the next 2 weeks. The next 2. Just be ready. Just be ready. All right, let me go back to this other issue. I'm moving on to my next conversation. I want to now stop for a moment at my city council dais. I want to stop for a moment to have a conversation about a move that was made to make me go, huh? And try to find out, what is it? Because I got to talk about this, and then I'm going to go to this, probably start talking about this tariff issue. Y'all know this weekend is the day that we start the high 25% taxes on, Canada, Mexico, and China. That's coming Saturday, by the way. I hope y'all are ready. 25% tariffs on imports. So as I move to the city council real quick, I'm a little bit disturbed about this checking buildings, inspecting them to make sure that they are sound, so there will be no collapsing of the infrastructure. Now, don't get me wrong. It's apparent to me that there needs to be some type of something to stop these buildings from crumbling. So I looked at the story that was written by Sophie Kasakov, who's a staff writer. And it said that an engineer is going to advise New Orleans on how best to inspect its buildings after several buildings have collapsed in recent months. Shocked city residents, the city council has decided. It says that council members signed off on hiring an expert at a Thursday meeting. They say the move is the first step of a broader effect to hold neglectful property owners accountable for deteriorating building conditions. The motion approved Thursday allows the city to request proposals from various engineers who would help the city. A specific firm will be selected later. We had 3 major building collapses. That was said by Helena Marina. who co-authored the motion. We knew that we needed additional expertise. In the council meeting on Wednesday, city leaders said that they are exploring a multi-pronged response, including possible reforms to the city code enforcement department and increased assistance to responsible property owners who lack the resources to maintain aging buildings. The story goes on, but I'd like to stop there for a minute. I'm stopping there for a moment for a reason. I don't know if we need to go to Heitmeyer's, Dr. Heitmeyer's eyeglass place on the West Bank off of Algiers, over there by Holiday, to get your eyes checked. I don't know if we need to get them drops in your eye, get some new glasses, maybe even recite them letters on the wall. A, B, Z, D, A, C, D. I can't see the other ones. All right, try this one. Click, 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 click. Are you all trying to tell me that you can't see the dilapidated buildings in this city? And you think because they dilapidated that they're going to stand there forever and a day? And y'all are hiring an engineer to tell you that they dilapidated? Hello? And in the words of the president of the city council, she said, in quotes, that we needed additional expertise. Maybe it's me. Let's see. We have had in the last 5 years corrupt folks building high rises that are falling. We have had pilings being driven that are vibrating people's properties, and you're wondering why you got cracks in your foundation and in your walls and in your sheetrock. Let's see. We have had buildings falling down. But is anybody asking who owns those buildings that they just letting sit? Because the majority of them that we have let sit up there in the uptown areas, down in the CBD areas, the buildings that got doo-doo falling off of them called what? What's the one over there off of, what's that off of Rampart? Up by that big, what's over there by the gas, by the bus station, across the street? What's that big tall one? And you all are sitting up there telling me that we need to hire an engineer firm? We don't need to hire no engineer firm. Y'all looking for, because I can tell you what's going to happen, what they're going to recommend. Because the bill, now you boy, this one got me hot. We already have to go through code enforcement and all these different codes to build a building, right? To be able to build, you got to have everybody inspected. You got to have this one. You got to get licensed. You got to get permits. You are telling me now that we want to hire an engineer for these old dilapidated buildings that are falling down? Well, what part of dilapidated do you not understand what that means? Somebody don't know what dilapidated means? Dilapidated. Here go the definition. Let me give it to you. In a state of disrepair or ruin as a result of age or neglect. And the sentence that they use in the dictionary says the building was dilapidated. But the question is, who owned the building? Do I need to say this in my Charlie Brown teacher voice? Want, 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 want. Yes, ma'am. Want, 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 want. You said what? Want, 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 want. Money grab. Want, want. Sounds like it to me. Want, want, want. What you said? Because I can tell you what's going to happen. I can tell you what's going to happen. The city going to hire engineering firm. They're going to move our tax dollars going out the door. Engineering firm is going to recommend that they get the chance to inspect all the buildings. They're going to be working for the city. But when they inspect the building, guess what you got to do now? You're going to have to pay the cost for the engineering firm that's going to come in and inspect the building. I'm trying to tell you, we already know what's dilapidated. And there's nothing in the city that does not have a vibration meter. Y'all don't think when them streetcars go down St. Charles Avenue that something ain't there gonna vibrating? Have you all been down there when the streetcars going down St. Charles Avenue, not in the grassy area, not in the medium, the one straight down the street? It vibrates the whole street. And how many of those buildings are 100 years old plus? Want, 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 want. Want, 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 want. Yes, ma'am. Want, 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 want. I know. Dilapidated. What really grabbed my goat, it grabbed my goat, Jazz, it grabbed my goat. Bye. What really got me was listening to the representation, I'll say it that way, had the audacity to say, because some of these folks that own these dilapidated buildings are the worst people that you could possibly, because they have all of this infrastructure that is dilapidated and is doing nothing except making the ambiance of New Orleans just as bad as and da-da-da and da-da-da. And I'm saying to myself, New Orleans is like the biggest slumlords, and the people that have the most dilapidated buildings would be the city itself. Wah, 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 wah. Wah. How can you say that about the people when the city owns more dilapidated properties than anybody? Shh. Be very, very quiet. A state of disrepair or ruin as a result of age or neglect. That is the definition of dilapidated. We start looking at some of these buildings and they just sitting there. Ain't nobody going in them. They just got them boarded up. They're in a state of disrepair or neglected. And I can tell you, and any real estate person will tell you the same. If a building is just sitting there and it's not in use, you got buildings like the World Trade Center. They got pieces of it just falling off. You got folks that's living in it, that's homeless. It catches fire. but you want to hold on to your property. If I'm the city council, what I think needs to be done is you need to go back and find out the rules that you say, oh, you don't have to do nothing but cut the grass and make sure that it's boarded up. No, you're going to have to do a little bit more than that. If you want that piece of property, you need to do a little bit more than cutting the grass and boarding it up, because they're going to take the boards off of it. The next thing you know, you're putting firemen and firewomen, I'll say that, you're putting them in jeopardy. I would hate to hear that one of our first responders got killed because they're going out there to put out a fire in a neighborhood and something collapsed on them. They're doing it because they're putting out a fire in a dilapidated building that shouldn't have been dilapidated in the first place, and we didn't move on it. That blood would be on your hands. More coming up. We got to take a break here. I just had to get that in. More coming up in just a minute, y'all. Everybody hold tight. I'll take some of your telephone calls at 504-582-9422. That's 504-582-9422. Everybody hold tight. We'll take the break now.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. President Donald Trump is pushing ahead with aggressive new tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada, escalating his trade war strategy despite warnings from economists that it could raise prices for Americans and slow economic growth. He confirmed Thursday that a 25% tariff on goods from Mexico and Canada will take effect February the 1st, while also reaffirming plans to increase tariffs on Chinese imports by an additional 10%. However, he left room for adjustments, telling reporters the final details are still being worked out, including whether oil from Canada will be included. The president also signed an executive order directing federal agencies to develop an America First trade policy, including potential tariffs on all imported goods. He hasn't set a timeline for broader tariffs, but while the president claims the tariffs will strengthen the economy, history suggests otherwise. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
Norman Robinson is back.
Can you hear me now?
And he's taking no prisoners.
Can you hear me now?
Each weekday, Norman Robinson brings you commentary with Off the Top.
The incident was shocking, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, and sad.
Each weekday, Off the Top with Norman Robinson is heard exclusively right here.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM. It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
So, just how chaotic is the Trump White House? Well, let me count the ways. To be sure, there's an unbridled power grab, shooting from the hip, poor judgment, lawlessness, and challenging the U.S. Constitution. The most egregious act by President Trump so far is his pardons of the January 6 rioters who stormed the nation's capital in an attempt to stop the peaceful transfer of power. Specifically, they tried to stop Congress from ratifying the election of President Joe Biden. Many people were hurt in that violent attack, including 174 police officers. There were several deaths attributed to the mob attack by Trump supporters. Even some Republicans pushed back against Trump's move to issue pardons for the 1,500 criminal defendants, and especially for those convicted of committing violence against police officers. After all, the GOP is reputed to be the party of law and order, aren't they? Still, there's an entirely eerie silence among the majority of the Republicans on Capitol Hill when it comes to the questionable actions by President Trump, many of them resorting to mental gymnastics to validate Mr. Trump's decisions. That has not been the case for the judiciary. Recently, a federal judge placed a stop on the president's executive order to temporarily freeze federal grant funds that were meant to help the people. The action to freeze those funds caused chaos and confusion for cities and states that depend on the money to fund public programs. programs that, again, I mentioned, help the people, all people, Trump supporters included. The Trump administration has backed off its intent to freeze federal financial assistance, except in cases where the money is intended for DEI, climate change, and so-called woke ideology. The White House contends the issue is simply an attempt to bring federal spending under control. The president's critics opine that the issue is simply about a would-be authoritarian trying to shape the country in his image. Democracy and the Constitution be damned. I'm not surprised. I'm afraid, folks, this is just the beginning of a long 4 years as the president takes his win as a mandate to demolish programs that took years to develop. So let's face the naked truth. The man who would be king is an unapologetic, unguided missile from which not even Trump supporters are safe. How about that? This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month, a service of the community scientist and Rise St. James. This month, we're focusing on cadmium, a highly toxic metal commonly found in batteries, pigments, and industrial waste. Exposure can severely impact your lungs, kidneys, and bones. Visit risestjames.org to learn more about how cadmium affects you and what steps you can take to safeguard your family. Together, we can fight for a safer, healthier future. Rise St. James, standing strong for health, justice, and a toxic-free environment.
I'm Dr. Keith C. Ferdinand, cardiologist and professor of medicine at Tulane University here in New Orleans. I tell all of my patients to get the flu vaccine. Why? Because the same patients who are at risk for heart disease, obesity, hypertension, diabetes, chronic kidney disease are at risk of getting sick and even dying with the flu. Protect your health. Be flu ready NOLA, y'all. For more information, visit healthyheartcpp.org.
WBOK 1230 AM.
Better pay attention.
Powered by Cox Business.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Emily Hernandez, previously pardoned for her role in the January 6th riot, was sentenced to 10 years in prison for a fatal drunk driving crash in 2022 that killed Vicki Wilson and injured her husband. Costco is raising its hourly pay to $30.20 for top earners and $20 for entry-level workers following union contract talks. This increase applies to both union and non-union locations. Recovery efforts continue after Wednesday night's plane crash near Washington, D.C. Dozens of bodies have been recovered from the Potomac River. The crash involved an American Airlines jet with 64 people and an American Black Hawk helicopter with 3 soldiers. And Meta will fire employees who leak internal info, according to a leaked memo following CEO Mark Zuckerberg's complaints about leaks. The memo states that leaks will be taken seriously and action will be taken. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to send a special shout out to our partner, the All-State Sugar Bowl. During the holiday break, over 30 teachers had the opportunity to ride in the New Year's Eve parade, and boy, did they have a blast. In addition, we had over 60 teachers attend the All-State Sugar Bowl game. Out of the 60, 11 teachers received a $1,000 gift card to purchase needed supplies to enhance the learning experiences for their students. Thank you, All-State Sugar Bowl, for your commitment to NOLA's teachers.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? That's that. Tune in to the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. A couple of stories as we get into the final hour. Y'all gonna go, what? Yeah, but there are a couple of stories I had to bring in. One of which I already told you about that, Saturday is the day. What? If you have something that coming from overseas, from China, which is just about everything, Mexico, Canada, you might want to go get it this weekend. Because Saturday, the president is saying that he's going to put that 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico and 10% tariffs on goods from China, effective tomorrow. The White House said, but it provided no word on whether there would be any exemptions to the measures that could result in swift price increases to U.S. consumers. It's already enough that we paying an ass load of money for eggs. But I hope y'all do understand that a lot of stuff that's coming from out of the country is getting ready. Can you imagine what avocado is going to be like?
Man.
If you an avocado, you got to have you some guacamole or whatever it is.
I
You
was about
might
to say.
want to go today and get you some avocados.
If you want guacamole, you might really have to run for the border.
Guacamole going to be the new crack. I got some avocados.
That's cold-blooded, too, because I just started liking guacamole.
You did?
Just started. Maybe about the past 3-4 years.
I'm going to start coming in here and say, bro, what's up? What's up? I'm your guacamole man. I got some avocados for you, bro. I got some avocados for you. Don't tell nobody. Meet me on the counter.
And now the funny thing is, now I'm a big time guacamole fan. So
Really?
I'm like upset behind this.
Let's see what else. Cars. Because you're going to see 25% more money going toward the price of cars. China. Let's see. That's what's coming from China. You got Toyota, Nissan. What else come from China? Honda.
Yep. Does Hyundai come from there too?
Yep. You ever shop at Temu? You ever shopped at Temu?
No, I've window shopped.
Right. But I didn't order some of everything. I just sat there for hours at a time. I was on the phone with a couple of folks, and they were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm shopping at Temu." They were like,
I always felt like Temu was just a scam.
No.
I know.
No.
I just felt like it.
You get cheap stuff off of Temu.
That's what made me think it was a scam.
Now, there's been a couple of other things. I'm trying to think, what's the other one that everybody talk about? Skiing? Y'all know what I'm talking about. What is it? But I order stuff off of Temu. Temu be sending in bulk what you need. I'll be like, that's what I'm talking about. Send it. And it'd be good. Be nice quality stuff. But the one, what's the other one? Sheen. There you go. Thank you, Samarian. Sheen. You saw the latest, the man said he ordered a drill off of Sheen. They sent him a picture of it. They sent him a full color ad of that drill with the pieces on it. They sent it to him, but it was just a picture.
It was the picture.
It was the picture.
That's crazy.
So I'm scared of them. I can't order them. But Temu?
I thought Temu was the people you order something and it's like extra small.
Wait a minute, what?
Like you order something and it don't be the size that it's supposed to be. Like
well, you do have to look at the different sizes because they send all over. Yeah, they send all over. So So that's my biggest one. T-Bone.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Happy Friday.
What's
I had
going
to
on
get a
with you?
piece of this. Oh, once again, I am going to keep to my word and not discuss this as politics. This one is an economic issue. Your car parts, medical equipment, food, clothing, materials for clothing, certain types of tools come from out of the country. Your maple syrups, she's talking about Canada. Certain kinds of other amenities. Your fruits, your vegetables, certain fruits and vegetables. Oh, I will say this politically. You voted for this. Let me repeat. Car parts, machine parts, appliances,
we got you.
Tools, food products, amenities, clothing. If you get anything from certain things from Amazon, Temu, I'm gonna have to tell my wife about Shein because she gets stuff from there all the time.
She does?
Different clothing manufacturers get their materials for clothing people out of the country. See, the problem is this. The yahoos that voted for this, my shade or lighter, are under the impression that this will make America great again because it'll bring the jobs back. When's the last time you've known an American vehicle that was fully made in America? If you talk to an average mechanic, they will tell you where these parts come from. And they'll tell you half of your vehicle don't come from here. If you got a washer dryer, go to your laundry room right now if you got one. Your washer dryer, whether it says Frigidaire, Maytag, GE, 9 times out of 10, the components to fix them are made out of the country. See, the problem is, years and years ago, we had this moniker that we could believe in called Made in the USA, Made in America, like the blue jeans you wear, the T-shirts you wear. That used to be the case back in the 80s. But you people that voted for him didn't look up the fine print on the things that you buy and saw it had made in Taiwan, made in China, made in Canada. You about to feel this.
Yep.
Just like a whooping that you were supposed to get because you did the wrong damn thing and your parents caught your ass and said, let's go. You know what that meant. That belt was coming. But mama, I ain't gonna do it no more. Bet you ain't. Don't get this right here. That's what's about to happen. Because you didn't listen. You didn't read. You didn't research. I know some of us don't like to read, but if you go on the internet every day, checking email, looking at TikTok, looking at YouTube, laughing and jeering at stupid stuff, you can Google something right quick and learn something. I dare anybody within the sound of my voice listening to this, look at any of your appliances, Google it. the model name and the manufacturer and find out where the parts for your appliances come from.
Got it. All right, T-Bone.
All right,
Appreciate you.
y'all.
Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Yeah. I thought T-Bone said he wasn't going to get political. That was pretty political, wasn't it? Didn't he say voting for the man? Didn't he say look up your appliances and all that? Pretty political sounding to me. Well, there is a website. Let me give you the website. It's called Gowling WLG. GOWLING WLG.com. Gowling.com. It's called Preparing for Tariffs, a guide for North American importers and exporters, and how do you look and see what the background is, and that, you know, all this begins on February 1. Y'all do understand that the 25% tariffs starts from Canada and Mexico on tomorrow. And of course, it tells you what, you know, you can expect as far as custom tariffs. There are going to be custom tariffs from the United States to Canada to, and once, and I don't think anybody understands this, once the tariffs are being put on these other folks, you're going to feel it because they're going to come right back and put tariffs on America. So either this is going to be a cluster, you know what, or somebody's going to be recognized as a genius. Because what will it make us do? It will more than likely be too much for us to pay for, which will cause, I think, another issue with high inflation. Or it will make the United States say, you know what, I don't need them. Let me start putting together my own. We'll see. We shall see. But it begins tomorrow. If you're not prepared, you should look at it and say, and here we go, yo. Here we go. Here we go, yo. Here we go. All right. So I'm not getting a response back. I told you I was waiting on something. I was trying to get somebody to be my guest today. If not today, be on for next week. And that person was actually, well, I'll go ahead and say it now, Natalie J. Roy. She's not really answering. But like, who is Natalie J. Roy? For those of you that don't know, you got that story ready? The former CEO of Second Harvest, the food bank. I'm telling everybody right now, turn on your Facebook Live so that you can see the story. Because I am trying to reach out for this woman who has done the work of so many, Natalie J. Roy has been a godsend for the city of New Orleans and the surrounding areas with food, vegetables, boxes of some of everything to feed people that need it the most with Second Harvest. She and the committee, the board that was put together to make things happen for Second Harvest Food Bank were fired yesterday. Unbelievable to me. that she was fired. And the board. Here's the story. Y'all pay attention. Here we go.
Food Bank says the Archdiocese of New Orleans fired its CEO and several board members after Second Harvest refused to fund the church's sex abuse bankruptcy claims. In a news release, Second Harvest says that the firings follow months of aggressive pressure to contribute as much as $16 million toward helping the church pay the claims related to the bankruptcy. It says Second Harvest CEO Natalie Jairo refused to reallocate funding that is solely intended to help alleviate hunger. Second Harvest said that it has contracts with partners like Feeding America, which prohibit outside expenditures. Jairo led Second Harvest for 19 years. Second Harvest says that Dirk Wild, who became chief financial officer of the Archdiocese in 2022, will serve as the interim CEO. The Archdiocese has not commented.
As a mom, I feel grateful that I can actually do that twice, not just once, but twice.
A Kenner mother hopes to give her son a second chance at life after she found out that she could donate some of her bone marrow to him. Good evening once again. I'm John Snell.
And I'm Warren McCoy.
All right, that comes from Fox 8. We appreciate them for letting us use their audio in that case.
Boy.
I'm shocked. I'm in shock.
So I'm shocked, but probably for a different reason, right? Like,
but why you shocked?
I'm shocked at the nerve of the Archdiocese, the gall. Well, not even shocked. I'm disgusted at the nerve and the gall of the Archdiocese to try and force Second Harvest to pay for the crimes of they little nasty ass.
The pedophile priest?
Yeah.
I got to clean that up for you because
Yeah.
You bit your tongue?
Yup.
I saw you. You need to get a Band-Aid?
Nope.
Okay.
Because I'm going to call him nasty ass again. With his with they nasty asses. And now they want to. And this is so unchristian like because they made a mistake. First of all, they let a nasty ass become a pedophilic priest, right? Then they moved him around, right? Then they found a way to try and kind of sweep everything under the cover. Now that everything is exposed, now they want to try and shift the responsibility of paying. Come on, man. Y'all like the mob. Y'all actually worse than the mob. The Archdiocese, the whole thing. All of y'all.
This ain't even mob-like to me. This ain't even mob-like to me. You know what this is?
What?
This is devilish.
Yes.
You fired this lady that has been doing
Because-
so much good work in the community that she's Christian-like, along with that committee. Say, bro, let me tell you something.
It's the people in power, bro.
When we were first started up the talk radio here at BOK, which was like, I think it was 2006, 7, somewhere in that area. One of the things we knew that everybody was hurting during that time because everybody was trying to get themselves together because of the fact that, Katrina had just happened and everybody was trying to get their stuff together. I talked to Natalie Jairo because Roy Brown had called me, and I'm sorry, Roy Brown. I talked to Miss Natalie and told her, I said, one of the things that I would like to see us do is be able to put together something to be able to hand out some food and stuff to the people. We were on Gentilly Boulevard.
Yep.
Miss Natalie said, hold on, I'm going to call you right back. She called me back. This is what we're going to do, Gerard. We're going to bring some food over there for you to be able to give it away to the people that want it. I'm thinking like, they're going to bring, some maybe a couple of pallets or something. That lady bought an 18-wheeler over, bruh. And opened it up and said, give everything in here away. But when I tell you that I was sitting there in shock, she was like, you're just going to have some people to come help. I'm going to bring my staff too. She brought like 30 people. I'm going to bring my staff and, have some folks to come help us out. I was looking, I was like, what in the world is coming down the street? I thought it was just gonna be like a little truck. It was an 18-wheeler, bro. Opened up the entire thing and said, give everything. When we finished hours later, everything was gone. Everything was gone. But it was hours that I stood there, she stood, she didn't leave. She didn't leave. She could have said, hey, here you go. See you later.
I'm going on about my business.
She worked it like she was the help. Not the CEO, but the help. And every time we have picked up the phone and said, we need.
She delivered.
She delivered. And I've seen and heard Second Harvest so many times over. I don't care if the Archdiocese does own it. I could care less that they own it. But the people, I ain't talking about the organization. I'm talking about the people. And you fired her because she didn't want to commit to giving you millions to help you pay for
some
the
nasty
lawsuits that are coming from these pedophile priests. And you fired her, and you let the committee that's there with her go.
Now I just want to bring up the irony here, right? So you're gonna fire the lady for not wanting to give you $16 million to help pay for some nasty ass illegal activities that was committed. And y'all didn't fire the person who did the act? You didn't fire the person who did the act? You just moved them? Come on, man. Show me the justice in that. You moved the actual perpetrator and you fire the person that's actually doing good because they don't want to play ball with y'all? Come on, Archdiocese. Get y'all crap together.
Let's take the break. 504-582 9422 is the number. So we'll take some of your calls. I can't believe this. I'm like really in shock. Archbishop Raymond, I got to tell you, that's another bad move on your behalf. I really think that's a very bad move on your behalf. And I think that Natalie Jaro, who is a good woman, and the organization that she put together as far as the people are concerned, they're good people. And you have violated their trust too. Not in the same way as the priests violated the trust of those people that are guilty for messing around with them when they were little boys. But I'm telling you, you have violated the trust of this woman who is a God-fearing woman and her committee. What in the world are we coming to? More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the front porch, y'all. You know how we do every Monday. It's Moving Monday.
And Tuesday, it's Trivia Tuesday.
And y'all know we have nothing but bad cheering coming through here on Wednesday.
But stick with us. On Thursday, we travel.
That's right. And Friday's Free Your Mind Friday, so get your brass up.
Something on your mind? Want to get it off your chest?
Holla at your people. WBOK 1230 AM, the station you listen to
all day long.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune in to the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Trevor, I sent you another one. I want you to load that one up too.
Shouts out to all our listeners out there in Pasadena.
Oh, we got people out in Pasadena? They called out and said hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Pasadena up in here. Did you get a chance to see some of the stuff about the fires? And they're gonna do the fire aid. I think that's gonna air again. And they said when they started, they had 60 million in, I guess, donations by the time they had started. So hopefully that is gonna be a whole lot more. I am so saddened to hear that they decided to let Natalie Jaro, who has been giving her all to Second Harvest Food Bank forever and a day, and let her go. Members of Second Harvest Food Bank, the board of directors as well, and its longtime president and CEO, Natalie Jaro, were terminated amid pressure to help resolve sexual abuse bankruptcy claims. That's according to a news release issued by a public relations firm. According to the news release, the Archdiocese of New Orleans terminated the nonprofit's board and CEO, Natalie Jaro, after she refused to reallocate donor funding, meaning to address food insecurity in South Louisiana. How does your sexual abuse claims have anything to do with food insecurity in South Louisiana? The funding itself was $16 million that they wanted to go toward the church's sexual abuse related bankruptcy. And said that Jaro and the board were under, in quotes here, has increasingly aggressive pressure to contribute that $16 million towards the church's sexual abuse bankruptcy. I wonder, will the Catholic Church push back? I wonder, will these folks push back?
Hell yeah.
You think they're going to push back?
Hell yeah. Because that's how they are.
Nah, they ain't going to push back. I'm talking about the folks. Will folks that are in the Catholic Church push back because of the decision to get rid of her because of this sexual claim?
I would hope so.
I don't think so.
But I would hope so. But here's the problem. And I'm gonna say this, and a lot of people going, and you know what? I don't care. Call me, whatever. I used to be in the Catholic religion, altar boy and everything. The problem with the Catholic religion, they bow down to the leaders of the Catholic religion without using their own brains. So when things look suspicious or they're off, all of the head nun or the head monsignor you got to do is come in and say, oh, they got us wrong. This is a misunderstanding. And then all the parishioners and everybody in the church is just going to accept it for what it is. And that's wrong, because that's abuse of power. And they've been doing it for years. And that's how this whole thing has been able to escalate over the past who knows how many decades.
I think that the this is going to end up being a legal issue. I think that Natalie J-Rowe is, number one, I think she's very smart. And I think that the board is going to push back.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure, but I would think that the board would push back. But
I think Natalie J-Rowe is going to do something about this because she's been there forever and a day. And you're talking about taking money to give it towards something that has nothing to do with feeding the hungry.
At all.
At all. And that comes from their sponsors. And one thing that they do know is the law. And for them to be able to accept that money, in this article that I'm looking at, it says that the agreements with grant-giving organizations, meaning that if you're giving money to this organization, the partners prohibit any expenditures that are non-secular or do not directly align with the sole mission of feeding the hungry. So that money is supposed to go to feeding the hungry and nothing else.
It's a $16 million shakedown, G.
And the Archbishop has chosen to ignore and jeopardize Second Harvest's ability to fill its mission and honor its contracts with both shocking and short-sightedness. That comes from the Second Harvest Board chair in an issued statement. So, to me, for them to be able to quote the law in a statement, to me, I think we get ready to see a showdown. It's about to be a showdown in the town, boy. It's about to be a showdown. What you got on this side? You got Second Harvest. Second Harvest. What you got on that side? The nasty ass people. I'm sorry. That was
the pedophile patrol.
Oh, bruh. You went there?
Yes. The pedophile, they doing it to themselves, trying to shake people down like this for $16 million. That's trying to feed the hungry. Don't have nothing to do with your nasty ass.
You all right?
The pedophile patrol.
You got the article?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Nasty ass.
You done got me.
You ready?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
So obviously this is news that has shocked a lot of people. What can you tell us?
What I can say is that Natalie is no longer the president and CEO of Second Harvest Food Bank of Greater New Orleans and Acadiana. Our interim CEO is named Dirk Wild. He's a board member he is a board member. And he is the interim CEO, and we are beginning a search for a new CEO. In the meantime, we continue our mission of leading the fight against food insecurity in all of South Louisiana. We honor our partner commitments, including those commitments that we have for the Super Bowl next week. Nothing changes there. We continue to move on. There are over 400,000 people throughout South Louisiana who experience food insecurity, and that is our mission, regardless of who is in charge of Second Harvest Food Bank.
How devastating is this to your team?
Natalie's been with us for 19 years. She's been a part of the family. We have to focus our energies on those 400,000 people who are experiencing food insecurity, who are depending on us right now. That doesn't change. There's a lot going on this week. I mean, just think nationally. We have to focus on them. They need our help regardless who is in charge here.
Are donors concerned that their money will be going potentially to pay for the sins of people that rape children?
Our donor commitments, based on our Feeding America agreements, as well as the Donor Bill of Rights, which has been published by the Association of Fundraising Professionals, says that we are committed to use those dollars that we receive towards our mission, which is to fight food insecurity in all of South Louisiana. It's those 400,000 people.
So y'all will or won't have to be paying the amount of money that's mentioned in the news release?
I can't comment on that news release. What I can say is our focus is on those 400,000 people who are experiencing food insecurity in South Louisiana. 1 in 6, 1 in 4 children. In Orleans Parish, it's 1 in 3 children. That's who we have to focus on.
Is it upsetting that the Archdiocese went to this length?
I'm not going to comment on that. I really don't have any. We have an interim CEO. His name is Dirk Wild, and that's who I report to now.
Message to the public right now: are y'all's funds in jeopardy? Are people that y'all serve are in jeopardy?
I want the public to think about the 1 in 6 people in South Louisiana who experience food insecurity. It's a mother who lost her job and she's got 2 kids. It is a senior who saw their homeowner's insurance premiums go up, and so now they can't afford groceries. It's the people who come to our more than 500 pantries and meal programs that those are the people who we are focused on right now. And so when you think of us, our mission is to address food insecurity among them.
Do you support the Archdiocese decision to have your employees removed?
I can't comment on that.
Anything else you'd like to stress? I know I've asked some hard questions. Anything you'd like the public to know that
He can't comment.
We remain committed to the mission of fighting food insecurity in South Louisiana.
I'm cracking up at Cager online. She just had Levitt. She said, "This sounds like the Church of Diddy."
Bro, I'm gonna tell you like this. Look. The reporter asked him if he had a message for anybody. I got a message for Mr. Dirk.
Oh Lord,
Dirk. I don't know what your last name is. I missed it. Mr. Interim CEO Dirk. My message to you is
run.
Before you turn this $16 million over to the pedophile patrol, I need you to go look into the mirror, have a long conversation with yourself, and think about what these nasty-ass people is really trying to make you do, dog. They're not trying to accept responsibility for nothing, and they're trying to put it all off on y'all. Not put it off on y'all, but they're trying to make y'all better weight. When y'all are really
trying to take that
here to
money,
help people.
I just don't understand how they try to take the money from
that's what
Second
I'm talking
Harvest
about.
Give to them. Plus, you have already filed for bankruptcy.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying they're trying to place blame or anything. This is a shakedown, G. Shake it for your hood. Shake it. This is a shakedown.
Come back in the name of Jesus.
This is Why? They're not doing nothing in the name of Jesus.
I tell you.
The Archdiocese is not doing nothing in the name of Jesus. They're not stepping in the name of love. They're not stepping in the name of Jesus.
That's R. Kelly, bro. That's R. Kelly. You can't put R. Kelly in there.
In this situation, yes, I can. They are stepping in the name of R. Kelly. Look, all kind of foul, filthy.
As much as we joking about this, as much as we trying to, this is really disturbing.
I'm not joking.
No, I'm talking about me.
Oh.
I mean, this is really disturbing.
This is some foul, filthy flim-flam.
This is very disturbing.
From the people that's supposed to be all holy and thou.
So you're
holy
taking
as thou.
$16 million of the money that has been donated to Second Harvest, taking that money away from them 400,000 people that you are helping. And if you're taking that money away from it, that means that the people that you're helping that need the money the most, need the food the most, are not going to be able to get them, not going to be able to get the food that they need. So you're actually creating a situation where we're going to see people not having a place to go to get their food anymore.
Because y'all made bad decisions.
To be able to pay for your pedophile priests.
Y'all made bad decisions. Y'all made bad decisions.
So I wonder, if I put this out here today, from the number of people that are in the Catholic religion, how many of them are in disarray because of this, don't believe it, or are you supporting the decision that was made by the Archbishop?
Can I make it a poll? I can't make that a poll.
Don't make it a poll.
Okay, well that means
no, they need to speak up.
Okay, well I'm gonna go
not hide behind a computer.
right. I'd say 60% are blindly following, and they're. I'm not gonna say they're cool with it, but they are buying into the story of whatever. They are buying in 60%.
So, one of the issues that I have with the religion itself, and I know I'll get the pushback over the weekend, but I don't really care, is that there have been generations of black Catholics that have been brought up in the church, brought up in the same church, brought up your mama, your daddy, your grandma, and all of y'all been brought up in the same church. You all have paid the note with tithes and offerings. Y'all have paid for the building. Y'all have paid for the, I guess more so too, the salary of that priest or priest that have been there. Y'all have paid for those churches, but yet your parish, the people of that parish, do not own the building. And if the archdiocese wants to take that church and sell it, they can, because they own the building. Even though that your congregation has paid years, and y'all call that your church, that's not your church. You might attend that church. You might be a parishioner at that church, but that is not your building. Well, the church is not four walls. Okay. But when they take it and sell the building, because I was coming down Gentilly the other day, and I said I was actually going over there to see Passover at Pontilly. And as I was going down Gentilly, I can remember the days when I was driving down and I would have that traffic right there at Franklin Avenue and Gentilly because of the moms and the pops that were pulling up to pick their kids up at that Catholic church. What's that Catholic church right there at Gentilly and Franklin? You know what I'm talking about? But they had one of the best schools. And I looked up and I was like, damn, I'm going to get caught up in that traffic. And when I got there was nobody in line, but yet I saw at least 3 of those buildings with a great big old for sale sign in front of those buildings. One of them was the sanctuary. One of them was where they kept their school. And I think the other one was the school as well. And it's 3 big old buildings. I don't know if you're selling all 3 of them together, but I was like, dang, that's St. James the Major.
That's it. That's
what it is.
St. James. That's it.
It's for sale. It's for sale. It got 3 big old blue and white signs outside of it that got in big letters for sale. And I was thinking to myself, how many people that look like me and you had their kids attend that school, went to the church, paid tithes and offerings, and then yet you still don't own that building?
That was the school where the young men had to be relocated, that they closed down in the middle of the school year.
That was the one?
That's the one.
But it's for sale. It is for sale. But I wonder over and over and over and over again, as money's coming into these places, what are they doing? Just selling the buildings? Prime location, prime real estate? But you paid for that building for at least 18 years of your life because your mom and daddy had you in church and y'all paid tithes and offerings, and then that ain't including the number of families that be raising their families up in the church. And you were there for years. Your mama was in that church. Your daddy was in that. Your grandma was in that church. Y'all paid years and years and years of offerings in that church. And now you're not even going to be able to go past it and say, that's my church. It's going to end up being an office building, a gymnasium, or something else. You can be like, well, you know, that's the church that I was brought into. There ain't no church no more. That's why I have a problem with this, because we as people don't own jack. Archdiocese got the paper. They own the real estate. Even though you paying for it, they own it. They own the building. So no matter what you have done, they still own the building. I think, now this is just my personal opinion, that the Catholic folks need to start doing like the Baptist folks do. Because the Baptist church is owned by the Baptist congregation. They get the mortgage, the church own it. Not the organization, the church own it.
Message.
So nobody be able to sell your legacy. You got married in that church. Your children got baptized in that church. You were singing in the choir. You were doing liturgical dancing. You were in the choir. You were part of the band. Your child recited poetry in there. You was the guest speaker for Men's Day, Women's Day. All of this stuff, all these memories just went down the drain. And I really do believe that until you all start making a deal that you own the building because you done paid for the note, they taking the building and they selling it. And guess who's the first ones to be sold? The Cullets.
Not the ones close to the train tracks.
No, they can be. Oh, well, you know what? There's a train track closer to.
Yeah,
Because you got to go
any of them close to the train tracks in Martin Luther King across the country.
They be gone. I just think that the ones that are black go first.
Train tracks in Martin Luther King.
They ain't got to be at the train tracks. They got to be there. All I need to see, because you know they got a bunch of places that I see. They got some prominent folks to go to some of these churches, some of these Catholic churches, really prominent. They ain't close to the tracks. But guess what? Their buildings get sold first. And then, you know, then they combine the congregations. But they ain't doing that to other churches that don't have half of the congregations. You all need to make a deal. Own your facade. Own your sanctuary. Own your own. If the archdiocese is the religion, the head of the Catholic Church for New Orleans, then you all need to make sure that you have your own building. They do not own your building. You all own your own building.
You ain't realized it yet? They ain't got time for all that.
Who ain't got time for it?
The archdiocese.
What do you mean?
They ain't got time to be owning their own buildings.
I ain't talking about them owning the buildings. I'm saying that the people that are in the church need to be owning the building, not the archdiocese, because the archdiocese own the buildings, and then when they need some money, the first ones to go seem to be the black churches. And then they take the other people out of one building and put them in another so that they can have a combine two different sanctuaries in one location. Then your other location go up for sale so that they can get the money. I'm trying to tell the folks that own in these congregations, you all need to have your own edifice. You need to have your own place. Well, you know, we got to have, we got to have the priests and make the deal. Make the deal. Have one of the priests to come in and be the priest for the sanctuary. Then the folks of the sanctuary not only own their own building, but they also will have control on who is the priest that's going to be able to do that. Then they need to have standards. If that priest don't meet those standards, the the folks of the church get the opportunity to say, archdiocese, there's something wrong with this priest. We need to get rid of him. He's not going to be moved around. There's something wrong. He is not going to be our priest. But you got to have some balls to do that.
Yep.
Don't be scared.
Can't be a follower.
You got to lead the way, because it's apparent to me that too many of you all have been followers for a long period of time.
Long period of time.
And where has that gotten you? No satisfaction whatsoever. Most of you are losing your churches. You're losing people that's coming to the church. We're supposed to be bringing people to God, not making them leave. I'm like Cadre on that. We have become the church of P. Diddy. Take that. More coming up, y'all. We got to take a break. We'll take a break here. And there is more coming up in just a minute here as we get you ready for the weekend. Next on WBOK.
Hey, this is Dave Poston. Be sure to listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday evening at 5 p.m., bringing you the best Southern Soul barroom music with the Southern Soul Weekend Party Mix, hosted by me, of course. I'll be playing your favorite Southern Soul music by artists from all over the South, right here on WBOK 1230 AM or online at WBOK1230.com. The station you listen to longer. Listen to longer. Listen to longer.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? It seems impossible to find them. Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WBOK and LCMC Health are proud to present Keeping You Well Cafe. 60 minutes with LCMC Health, where the doctors speak directly to the people of New Orleans. LCMC Health is committed to improving the quality of care here in New Orleans, the Gulf South, and beyond. The Keeping You Well Cafe is another way for LCMC Health to engage with the community. At the Keeping You Well Cafe, LCMC Health joins WBOK and local businesses to answer your questions about wellness and health.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
This is the coach, Garrett Sashray. The Sports Report is coming up next on WBOK 1230 AM.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Ooh. I am on Natalie J. Rose Facebook page and looking at the posts that people are putting up. And I ain't talking about just anybody. I'm telling you, if you get a chance, I think that everybody should go there. Let me read this one to you. It says, Second Harvest is the top of our charity list, and we donate regularly because we know Natalie J. Rose is using our donations with integrity to feed the needy in our area. That's exactly what we want you to do, Natalie. And good for you for standing up for your agency's mission. I do not want our money going to the Archdiocese, who has wasted our money on attorney fees for over the last 4 years. They made raid of coffers of our parishes, but they may raid the coffers of our parishes, but they do not have a right to take money from charities with specific missions that their donors support. I hope in the end, this all works out in your favor, Natalie. Jennifer Van Kranken from Jefferson Parish wrote something on there too. I work hard and choose selectively where I make charitable contributions. For several years, I've made monthly donations to Second Harvest Food Bank. Director Natalie J. Rowe wisely stretched every dollar and always worked to meet the needs of our community. I will be canceling all future money donations to Second Harvest. I will still give food, but agree 100% with the woman of integrity. I can read some more, but I'm going to leave it at that for right now. I sent her a message, too. You might want to go in there, too. Go on Natalie J. Rowe's Facebook page and tell her, stand for it, girl. Don't let nobody get in. Don't give in to those nasty.
Now, you know I'm sitting here trying to hold it together and not in these final moments and trying to get through without saying nothing.
Go ahead and put that on her Facebook page. I guarantee she appreciate it. Tell her this from Jazz over here at WBOK. Don't give it, girl. Hold your ground. Don't give in to those nasty.
For real. Don't give in to the nasty ass pedophile patrol. I'm just saying, G.
I got you, bro. I didn't mean to start you back up, bro.
And I'm gonna just say this because I know they got a lot of Catholics out there that's gonna see me and they're gonna be pointing and they're gonna be looking and they're gonna be side-eye. And listen to what I'm saying. I ain't got nothing against the Catholic people, right? Or the Catholic religion itself. My problem is with the organization. And all of I know you understand. Yeah. I'm saying this to the 60% of the sheep, the Catholic sheep. I'm not even talking about to the 40% of the Catholic followers who have their own mind. I'm talking about the 60% of the sheep who believe anything and everything that come out the priest's mouth. I'm saying, open your eyes and realize what they've been doing for the past couple of years. This is something that they brought amongst themselves. This ain't nothing that you could be like, oh, Jazz wrong for saying this about this. No, Jazz not wrong for saying nothing about none of y'all. Y'all wrong for doing what y'all did to make Jazz say something about y'all.
Can I go now?
Yes, you can.
I can call it a day. Send a message, bro. Send a message. I'm typing one right now. Send a message, bro. One that's going to make her ask me when I try to get this interview with her. Can you tell me who the guy is, Jazz? I'm going to be like, I have no idea. Never heard of him before. He just kept sending me something that says about the nasty. No, don't know him. Oh, Lord. Oh, boy, that made my day, Jazz. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. What, the show over with? Either I had too much to talk about or I had too much fun, one or the other. Maybe a little bit of both. Y'all have a great weekend. Be safe this weekend. Y'all be safe. I am working to try to get Natalie J. Rowe to be on with us. If she comes, Jazz.
I'll be silent.
Okay, all right. All right, y'all. Have a good weekend. Coming up, the Sports Report is up next. I'll see y'all on Monday.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK 1230 AM, Go, and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Investigators are working to retrieve the wreckage of the 2 aircrafts that collided over the Potomac River. No survivors were found, and divers have recovered the plane's voice and data recorders. During his confirmation hearings, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was questioned about past statements claiming black people have better immune systems than white people. He cited a series of studies supporting this claim. Stocks closed higher Thursday after a volatile day on Wall Street. Investors reacted to earnings reports from Meta, Tesla, and Microsoft, as well as lower than expected GDP growth and a drop in weekly jobless claims. And the Miami Heat's Terry Rozier is under investigation for an illegal betting scheme. The Wall Street Journal reported that federal prosecutors are involved and the NBA is cooperating with the probe. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
WBOK 1230 AM online at WBOK1230.com.
Rocking that beat from across the street. And Beat Street is a lesson too, because you can't let the streets beat you. Well, a picture can express 1,000 words to describe all the beauty of life you give. And if the world was yours to do over, I know you'd paint a better place to live, where the colors would swirl and the boys and girls can grow in peace and harmony, and where murals stand on walls so grand as far as the eye are able to see. Till I saw your face, and there'll never be one to take your place. Cause each and every time you touch a spray paint can, Michelangelo's soul controls your hands. Then serenades of blue and red, and the beauty of the rainbow fills your head. Crescendo colors playing tune, man, why oh why you have to die so soon? Ashes to ashes and dust to dust, where the good die young is all thy must. Cause that life must live, death must die, and the tears shall fall from the living eye. The teardrops fall for the state of mind of the beautiful lady that you left behind, in love and alone, but now you're dead and she still can't get you out of her head. More tears fall for all you've done, trying to be a good father to your only son. But now who's gonna make sure that he's fed, put a shirt on his back and a roof overhead? Tell me who's gonna dream the impossible dream of the beautiful cities and the islands' dreams, when your works of art brought into being all that the ghetto stopped you from seeing. Bums on the sidewalk, garbage in the street, abandoned buildings, bricks and concrete. The ladies on the corner are selling that body, and everybody wants a part in that party. I'm hanging out tough, rocking late at night, running wild in the town of the neon lights. You either play some ball or stand in the hall. You gotta make something out of nothing at all. I'm sitting in the classroom learning the rules, and it says you can't do graffiti in school. They can't be wrong in the hollowed hall, so my notebook turned into a brick wall. The heart of a lion and the courage of 3, in the mind of a man